Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, the Frugal. So recently I made a video on how you can make money using a credit card without getting into debt. I'll link it up in the cards above and in the description box below, so if you haven't watched it already, please do go and check it out. So as a follow-up to that video, I want to share the top 3 cashback credit cards available in the UK today, 2020 and 2021. So if you're thinking about getting a cashback credit card, hopefully this video will help to inform your decision. Please note, you must do your own research. I'm just giving you the highlights. I will put links to everything I'm talking about in the description box below. Make sure you read that information yourself and check that everything I'm saying is applicable to you. Okay, so in terms of this cashback deep dive, for each card I will talk about any introductory bonuses that may be available, standard cashback rates, fees applicable, spend requirements, and interest rates. But let me just say this up front so that there is no confusion. Cashback credit cards are not to be used if you need to carry a balance on your credit card. I don't believe in carrying a balance on your credit card. I believe in paying it off every single month, but it is imperative that if you have a cashback credit card, you do pay off your balance, because the interest rates that these cards carry will wipe out any cashback, any benefit to using the card, and will be incredibly expensive. So if you need to carry a balance, please do go and look for 0% cards, balance transfer cards, anything other than a cashback or rewards cards. They're not for you. So let's work backwards and start with card number 3, and that is the Barclaycard Rewards credit card. At 0.25% cashback, this is the lowest cashback rate of the 3 cards I'm going to talk about today. Even bearing that in mind, the great thing about this card is that there are no fees. That is, no fees annually for use normally in the UK, but also there are no fees for using this card abroad. You can withdraw cash, home and abroad, and use the card for your day-to-day spending without incurring any charges, which is amazing. I will say though, if you do ever find yourself in a position where you have to withdraw cash from your credit card, either home or abroad, fees or no fees, you probably need to pause and reassess either your finances or what it is that you are buying. It is a terrible habit to get into, even though this card does not apply any charges for taking out cash. Be aware that the APR on this card, the interest rate on the card, is 22.9%. So again, it is not a card for borrowing. If you are going to be taking out cash or spending on it normally, make sure that you pay your balance off every month, because that interest rate is hefty. Okay, so moving on from that, unlike the other 2 cards I'm going to talk about in a moment, the Barclaycard Rewards credit card is a Visa card. So you'll get the benefits of wide acceptance. Visa is accepted pretty much everywhere across the world and in most establishments. So the likelihood you're going to come across anywhere where they don't accept your card is incredibly slim. And for most people that are familiar with using debit cards to pay for things online, it also has the verified by Visa function for additional online security. So that is a pretty good thing. A few things to note about eligibility before we close out on number 3 is that you have to be 21 or older to be eligible for applying for this card. You also have to have lived in your address for the last 2 years, again, before you can apply. You also need a personal income of at least £20,000 per year. And finally, Barclaycard require that you have 4 years previous experience managing credit. So if that sounds like you and you think you might be eligible, this card may be worth checking out. So number 2 is the American Express Platinum Cashback card. The Amex Platinum card is actually the overall top payer on the market today, but it has a few limitations that make it not suitable for everybody. And so for that reason, I've put it as number 2. And I want to say, for full transparency, this is currently the credit card that I use, and it is the only credit card that I have today. The first thing I'll mention about this card before we get into the cashback is that it has a £25 annual fee, which is only worth it if you are spending a lot of money on this card. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend taking a credit card that has an annual fee. The introductory period on this card is great. It lasts 3 months. It gives you 5% cash back on spending up to a maximum of £2,500, which means you actually get a maximum cash back of £125 in that 3-month period. After that 3-month introductory period, cashback then falls to 1% cashback up to a maximum of £10,000 of spending. After that £10,000, the cashback rate actually ticks up to 1.25% on spending over that £10,000 threshold. So because of the fee, I would say that if you are interested in this card because of the level of cashback that it pays out, and because you know you're going to be spending upwards and above of £10,000 and more on the card in any year, and unlike myself, your brother does not work for American Express, and so he's unable to sign you up for a fee waiver in the first year. Thanks, Vin. I would probably look at signing up for this credit card through a site like Top Cashback. When I checked at the time of filming, which I think today is the 17th of October, Top Cashback could give you an annual fee of £10 a year compared to the standard £25 a year. I will link Top Cashback's website below. Again, if you want to check it out, do your research, but there are ways of making this just a little bit cheaper. Just make sure you read the terms and conditions so that you don't stumble across anything that catches you out and makes it more expensive than they've actually suggested. Okay, so other than fees, American Express, Amex, is not accepted everywhere. I have come across places, restaurants, certain shops that will not accept American Express as a payment method. And so because of that, I do then have to just whip out my debit card and complete a transaction. For the most part, it's not a major problem, but Amex is not widely accepted in the same way that Visa is, so just bear that in mind. I would not recommend using this card abroad. Non-sterling transactions incur a fee of 2.99%, so consider another card if you need something to travel with. Previously, I used a Tandem card. They're getting rid of their cashback facility, I believe in November, if it hasn't gone already. You may want to look at Monzo, but actually the Barclaycard is brilliant for travel. You do have a couple of options out there, but the American Express is not going to be one of those for you. Further to that, unlike the Barclaycard, do not take cash out on this card. Of course, don't take cash out on a credit card, but if you've lost your mind and feel like you have to, do not make that mistake with the American Express Platinum cashback card. Cash withdrawals will be charged at £3 or 3%, whichever is greatest. That will then incur, on top of the £3 or 3%, a 2.99% non-sterling transaction fee. On top of all of that, you will then get hit with the 27.3% APR interest rate on this card. So it can be an expensive card if you don't have good credit card discipline. With that APR, it just goes without saying, pay off your credit card before the end of the month. Do not incur interest on this card, because one late payment, one month where you carry the balance, will wipe out the cashback that you could potentially receive in months. It's not worth it, just pay the card off. So if this card sounds interesting to you, eligibility is a little bit easier. You have to be 18 years or older. You need a permanent address, but you don't have to have lived there for 2 years, just a permanent address. And then the final thing to say about this card is that if you've had an American Express in the last 2 years, 24 months, you will not be eligible for the introductory bonus of 5% on this card. You would go straight to the 1% cashback up to spending of £10,000. So just be aware of that if you're swapping between cards because you have another type of American Express, you wouldn't get that great cashback rate. Drum roll for card number 1, which happens to be another American Express. So my number 1 pick is the American Express Platinum Everyday Cashback Credit Card. The everyday card, unlike the platinum card we were just talking about, is a fee-free card. And because it is a fee-free card, the cashback rate on it generally is lower. That's just the trade-off that you have. But I think because it is fee-free and because you don't have to spend as much to get as many benefits, this card is a lot more accessible to many more people, and so it is my #1 pick. Like the platinum card, the everyday card has an introductory rate of 5% for the first 3 months. Which is great. But here, things start to look different. After the first 3 months, this card will give you a 0.5% cashback on spending up to £5,000. After this £5,000, you can receive 1% cashback up to a limit of £10,000 of spending. Now with this everyday card, unlike the platinum card, there is a spending limit for you to actually be eligible for receiving cashback. And so with the everyday card, you must spend a minimum of £3,000 in the 12-month period to make you eligible for cashback. Eligibility and travel-wise, the same conditions from the platinum card apply to the everyday card, so no change there. The only difference in terms of conditions is that the APR on this card is 22.2%, but as we know, it doesn't matter because we will not be incurring interest with these cards. We'll be paying them off. Yes, I am a broken record. I will just say, as an American Express user myself, American Express has some amazing benefits and offers for additional discounts and cashback. However, do not let those rewards and offers sway your decision, because it should be really about your ability to pay off the card and how much cashback it's going to give you as the headline. Okay guys, so that's the end of the video. If you thought it was valuable and you took something from it, please do give me a thumbs up. Give me a like, because the algorithm requires that like in order to share this video with other people. So I need to ask, and then ask again. Give me a like. Just smash that like button for me. If you would like to see a video on the apps and the websites that I use to get even more cashback on top of using my credit card, please drop down in the comments below. Let me know. And with that, I will say, until next time, thanks. Bye.